He found shelter, but it was already taken. Some shelters protect you, others trap you forever. The city was a sprawling inferno, a landscape of fire and ash. Every street was a gauntlet of falling debris and the deafening roar of explosions. He ran, his lungs burning, his mind a blur of panic. The air, thick with smoke and the metallic taste of destruction, choked him with every desperate gasp. Survival was a primal instinct, a drumbeat in his chest that drowned out the chaos around him. He wasn't a soldier, just a man caught in the crossfire of a war he didn't understand. His only goal was to find a place, any place, to escape the rain of fire from the sky. He scrambled through rubble-strewn alleys, the ghosts of buildings looming over him like skeletal giants. Each shadow seemed to hide a new threat, every distant scream a premonition of his own fate. And then he saw it. Tucked away in the foundation of a collapsed building, almost invisible against the black and stone, was a steel door. A bunker. It was more than just a structure. It was a symbol of hope, a tangible promise of safety in a world that had none left to offer, a chance to survive. His heart pounded against his ribs, a frantic rhythm of fear and relief. This was it. He stumbled toward it, his hands shaking as he reached for the cold, unyielding metal. He pushed, his shoulders straining against the heavy door. It groaned in protest, a sound like a waking beast, before slowly swinging inward, revealing a cavern of darkness. The air that rushed out was stale and cold, carrying the scent of damp earth and something else, something unsettlingly alive. Inside, shadows danced and writhed in the faint, flickering light that managed to pierce the gloom from the burning city outside. It wasn't empty. A flicker of movement caught his eye, a shape detaching itself from the deeper blackness. Someone was already there. A figure stood motionless, a silhouette against the far wall. They weren't moving, weren't speaking, just existing, watching, waiting. The silence in the bunker was a stark contrast to the cacophony outside. But it was heavier, more suffocating. It was a silence filled with unspoken questions and a palpable sense of possession. He felt like an intruder, a trespasser on sacred, or perhaps cursed ground. The figure remained still, their presence a weight in the small space. Every instinct screamed at him to turn back, to face the fire rather than the unknown in this tomb. But the sound of another explosion, closer this time, rattled the very earth beneath his feet, sealing his decision. He took a hesitant step over the threshold, the sound of his own breathing unnaturally loud. His voice was a fragile whisper, cracking with desperation. "Please," he begged, his eyes fixed on the motionless shape. "Let me stay, just until it's over." The air seemed to crystallize, the moment stretching into an eternity. Then a voice emerged from the darkness. It was low, raspy, as if it hadn't been used in a long, long time. "This shelter is mine." The words were not a threat, but a simple statement of fact, cold and absolute. Outside, the symphony of destruction crescendoed. The bombs grew louder, the concussions more violent, shaking the very bones of the city. He knew he had no choice. The burning world outside was a certain death. The darkness inside was just a possibility. He stepped in anyway, pulling the heavy door almost closed behind him, leaving only a sliver of the fiery world visible. He was gambling his life on the mercy of a stranger, a gamble he was forced to take. As the door sealed, the darkness became almost absolute. The air was heavy, oppressive, thick with the smell of old concrete. And something else, something metallic and faintly sweet. A low chuckle echoed from the corner, and the stranger finally moved, stepping into a sliver of light filtering through a crack in the ceiling. The smile on their face was not one of welcome. It was a chilling, predatory grin that didn't reach their eyes. "You think this place will save you?" The voice rasped, closer now. "It will bury you." Just as the words left their lips, a tremendous blast rocked the bunker. The walls shook violently, dust and dirt raining down from the ceiling. The ground trembled, as if the world itself was being torn apart. He stumbled, catching himself against the cold, damp wall. He turned back to the door, his heart seizing with a new, more intimate terror. With a deafening clang, a heavy locking bar slid into place from the inside. The sliver of outside light vanished. He was locked in. The stranger's smile widened in the suffocating dark. The bombs were no longer the greatest threat. A chilling realization began to dawn, a cold dread that seeped into his bones far deeper than the bunker's chill. This wasn't a sanctuary. It was a cage. He had run from the fire only to step into the furnace. The shelter wasn't designed for protection. It was designed for capture. He realized it too late. The stranger's whisper was right beside his ear now, a venomous, secret-filled sound that coiled around his soul. "I survived because others didn't." The words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken history, a confession of countless moments just like this one. He could almost see the ghosts of those who had come before, seeking the same safety, finding the same fate. The stranger's hand rested on his shoulder, a touch as cold as the grave. Tonight, The voice concluded, each word a final, terrifying judgment. You are the other. The true nature of the bunker was revealed, not as a shield from the war above, but as a private, personal battlefield, one where the rules were ancient and the outcome was already decided. He had sought refuge from the chaos of humanity, only to find himself at the mercy of its most patient monster. He found shelter, but it was already taken. It's a story, a chilling thought whispered in the dark. Maybe real, maybe not. But it makes you wonder about the places we run to for safety. Some doors are meant to protect us from the storm, but others lead to a different kind of storm entirely. It's a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous threats aren't the ones you can see coming. Some shelters should never be entered. Think about that the next time you're looking for a safe place. What secrets are waiting inside? If you want to explore more stories that live in the shadows, subscribe now. Because survival, you'll find, always has a price. Thanks for watching.